And we will.
Okay, guys, we're gonna go ahead and see Sean Hannity's reaction to the government shutdown
Again, thanks for watching us tonight.
and to Obamacare going through it. Let's see his introduction.
Stops right here.
I haven't made videos in a while. I've been busy, but I'm gonna make a few when big issues like this come upon. Hope everybody's having a good day, and I'll give my little insight at the end.
For the first time in 17 years, Republicans in Congress chose to shut down the federal government.
We have a matter of days, but hours left to prevent our government from shutting down.
No one's shutting down the government except the president.
Stop trying to force the government shutdown.
It's time for the Senate to listen to the American people. This Republican shutdown did not have to happen. But I want every American to understand why it did happen. That's what this fight's all about. I talked to the president earlier tonight. I'm not going to negotiate.
The proof is watching the House Republicans. Because
You hear what he said? He said, I'm not gonna negotiate.
The Senate has demonstrated that it is not willing to engage in the legislative process.
This is their way of saying we are going to have a new order here.
They've shut down the government over an ideological crusade to deny affordable health insurance to millions of Americans. In other words, they demanded ransom just for doing their job. Well, I would say to the president, this is not about me. It's not about Republicans here in Congress. It's about fairness for the American people.
Here we go.
And welcome to Hannity. It is day one of the Obama-Reid government shutdown, and at this hour, there appears to be no end in sight. Democrats are refusing to negotiate with any Republican, and so tonight we have assembled a live studio audience made up of pundits and pollsters from both sides of the aisle. We have financial experts and much more.
Oh, not again.
The latest developments in Washington. But before
That's what we need now.
There is another story
Hannity-
we need to tell you about. Today
Hannity
is also
focus
day
group.
one of the Obamacare President Exchange disaster. That is his health care plan, in particular, now the health care system and the health insurance exchanges that the administration now has had 3 years to plan for this day, and they could not have launched it in a worse way. Now, our friends over at National Review Online have come up with a list of 100, quote, unintended consequences related to the legislation. Throughout the hour, check the bottom of your screen, sort of below me, and it will display what they come up with, and you'll learn a lot about the health care law. Now let's turn things over to our studio audience. Day one Obamacare. Okay. Oh, Jamoo's happy. What a shock. All right. All right. Who thinks this is a good thing for the country? Hands up. All right. Joe Trippi. Shocker. Who thinks that after 3 years it is an embarrassment the way it was launched today with all the glitches? Joe Trippi.
What now?
Is it not an embarrassment? I mean,
No.
every state had a glitch. You couldn't even get on this thing.
No. Look, it's going to have glitches. No, there's been no launch of any new tech or anything that hasn't had glitches on the first day. It's going to do that. They have 6 months. People have 6 months. And by the way, it's only a small number of Americans, actually 30 million.
Hey guys, that girl's pretty hot.
Going to these exchanges.
What do you guys
It's
think?
not everybody. 85%.
What is she doing at a focus
are not
group?
who get health insurance already will stay on their plans.
All right, let's
By the way, that's not
let's
true.
see
That's
who
not true.
blames.
What he said is not true,
Go ahead.
because what's going to happen, you know this, is that employers that are providing health coverage that people like right now,
That guy moves
are
a
gonna
lot.
drop their coverage, Joe, and they're going to dump people in
All
these Obamacare.
85%, everybody,
Not all of them will, but
180
and
million
remember,
Americans
the
are gonna
president
dump
said
on
if you
the
like your
street.
health care plan, you
They're
get to
gonna be
keep
done.
it, and a lot of people aren't going to
It's
be.
done.
Mike,
He said if you liked your health plan, you could keep it. Is that just another lie, or should he said 85% could keep it?
No.
Whoa, look at this guy.
30 million Americans don't have health insurance.
this is-
They're the ones.
Okay.
They're the ones that are going to be going to the exchanges. And by the way, you're paying for all of them always right now.
If that was your health care
because-
on day one and you didn't get health care and didn't get it,
This
is that a
about
glitch?
the Americans
Oh, man.
who are uninsured. And
Right.
talking about companies, let's just give a round
And
of
they're still
applause to
uninsured.
Walmart, who has embraced this law and moved 35,000 of their workers from part-time to full-time status.
All right.
Because unlike Congress,
Hang
who
on.
understands
That's a good point.
Obamacare is actually going to insure
Before
the
we get
uninsured.
into the health
Thank
care
you,
law,
Walmart.
and we're going to get back to this, I promise, both of you, and Jedediah, I know you want to weigh in. Here's what the Republicans did. First, they said they were going to defund. Then they said they were going to delay. They sent the bills over to the Senate. Then they were going to eliminate special exemptions. And then they said, let's go to conference. The president said, I shouldn't have to offer anything. Harry Reid won't talk to them. Does that make the Democrats responsible for this shutdown? Show of hands. How many say no? Doug, Sean, what? If the Republicans offered to
Why do people even attend these things?
Exemptions and then go to conference, how is it not? They're funding the government in every other regard. How's it their fault?
It is their fault because the law is the law of the land. It was passed, and the way our system works is laws are put into place. You want to fight, you fight at the ballot box. Sean, the Democrats have basically won this fight, despite the fact that
that's true.
Obamacare is unpopular. I'm here to say that with 2/3 of the American people unhappy with Obamacare, the shutdown is the only way the Democrats now have a 10% lead in the generic vote.
I keep hearing this.
Oh, wow.
It's the law of the land. Peter Johnson, you're a lawyer.
Yes.
Now, don't we overturn bad laws all the time? And isn't there constitutional authority
all
for Congress?
the time? And the reason we have a government shutdown, and I'm sorry to say it, is because the President of the United States has forced a government shutdown. When a President of the United States, head of the United States Senate,
you know what? I'm not going to talk as much.
With Republicans in this
Look at this,
country,
ready?
and discuss the defects of one of the biggest pieces of legislation in our history and the impact that it's going to have, and say it's my way or the highway, it's my rule or I'll ruin you. That's wrong. That's un-American, and that's what we put funds into.
That is to say that the Senate leader and the president would not be sitting down. The Senate has tried to compromise 18 times on the budget. The Senate has tried to compromise. And then the Republicans are saying, the House Republicans are saying, you won't sit down to compromise with us. Keeping the government open is their job.
Oh, no, this guy.
That is their job.
Have you ever been at a negotiating table where one party comes and says, unless I get this, I'm going to burn the whole thing down? That's what the Tea Party folks have done.
That is hyperbole in the extreme.
And they
I sit at negotiating tables every day with legislative branches.
He sits on buffet tables every day.
One man.
Not negotiating tables.
I'm a tyrant, and I don't have any room to negotiate.
He doesn't have any more room to eat.
Who's the party responsible for shutting down?
I think it's Barack Obama.
The party that hates government. That's a very clear.
Let me tell you. Hang on, one at a time. I'm going to go to Tammy. One at a time. Because they offered to defund, then they said, all right, we'll delay. Then they said, we'll get rid of all the special exemptions. And then they said, all right, let's talk about it. And they won't even talk.
You know, here's what's fascinating. Everybody's talking about, and they note that, it's the law.
She's not talking.
Barack Obama seems to think that it's Jell-O, because he has changed this so many times over the last year. Exemption after exemption, waiver after waiver, delay after delay, and suddenly it's the law of the land that's written in stone. What Americans, I think, are getting upset with is, I think, even the reflection of this debate, which is that they know already that their premiums have gone up. They know that they were lied to. They know it's not what they were told it would be, and it's only going to get worse. If you've been on the exchanges, it's one thing to go on the exchanges. You get that bronze healthcare plan, you suddenly notice a $5,000 deductible and a 30% responsibility for any hospitalization.
Okay, guys, there's no point on keep on watching this. Everybody knows they're blaming the Republicans for the government shutdown. Obamacare went through this morning anyway. I think it's a good plan that everybody has health care. Everybody's going to have health care. Everybody's is looking at this through the blinds of politics. But I think everybody should have health care. Government should not shut down, even though it's just symbolic to me. I don't think it's a big a deal as they make it seem. Republicans made a big mistake. That's what I think. Hope you guys have a great day, and great to be back doing the videos. Bye-bye. I'll leave you with a little more, maybe a couple more minutes. I just can't take more of this guy. Bye.
Insurance. Who's got $5,000? Who's got the $6,000 you need for the hospital? They're finding out it is not even doable, and that's how
they have been lied to. They have been lied to by the Republicans. Why do I say that? Because for 3 years in a row, healthcare costs in this country have gone down. That's never happened before. And the Republicans, Doug is absolutely right. The Republicans managed to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. With the majority of people opposed to Obamacare, they could have forced negotiation. The president was.
I have a question for you, though, Bernard. Let me ask you this.
But not at the expense of shutting down the government.
Let me ask you a question.
And by the way, they already took it to
didn't the president
and lost.
Wait a second. Didn't the president say that the average family was going to save $2,500 a year? Did he say that?
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did.
All right. Now we have actuary studies that show in 46 states that the premiums for people that were supposed to save $2,500 are going up significantly on average as a $10,000.
Obamacare.
Excuse me, let me finish. Can I finish my question? On average,
That's a good point.
swing. So a $10,000 swing. So I want to understand from your point of view, does it matter to you that the president's promise is broken?
Here, guys, I'll leave you with that phrase real quick. Talk about broken. You can see it in his eyes. Lost 2 elections. His face is broken by defeat. Even though he has big ears, he's not able to listen to the truth. Sean Hannity, you have ruined the Republican Party, and you will never see Republican victory again. Alright, guys. To my subscribers, hope you're doing well. To my haters, hope you're doing well. Hope you get some insurance in the morning. You're probably gonna visit Obamacare to get insurance, which is a good thing. I already have my insurance, and I already have all my employees with insurance. So anyway, guys, have a great day.